we wanted to know what impact systems and resources have on, and digital resources have on schools. So we wanted to interview teachers to get them to think about what the system does with them, and it's not about throwing the systems out. It's to collect the positive and the criticism. I've asked them about, can you tell me about one moment in your teaching career you still know where digital resources did something to you, and it can be positive or negative. It's not only about the adaptive systems, it's about every digital resource you use in schools. I got quotes out of the interviews, and these quotes I presented again to a team, and we talked about it again. And we hope with this kind of interviews, schools get to think about why did we get the things in our school that we use? How do we use it? And is it the best way to use it? What does it do to us? What does it do to the children? And it doesn't have to be bad, but it's also time to take a breath again and not going. We always say it's like a train. Teaching is like a train. You always go further, and new things, and this would try and that would try. But we want to say, okay, stop, take your time and really think about what is happening here. A lot of teachers told me or thought about, well, we just use it because it's there, and we don't think about why we use it. Well, I think it's important to point out some of the things the children said. Besides, it's very individualistic. They said, I miss working together with my classmates, and when we can work together, we're talking too much because we don't get the we can't communicate when we're alone behind our laptop. Well, one kid said, it's not fair. The teachers say my writing is bad and I need to practice with writing. But in my classroom, I spend most of the times behind a laptop. So how can I practice my writing when I'm behind a laptop? And then they say, well, your writing is bad. You did the writing, you can remember it more. And that's something different than using the numbers on the computer. So he had a point. She just sat down and watched the children talk to each other. And that made her think, okay, what is going on when they're behind the screen? And she was looking at it very clear, and she said, well, it scared me because they sometimes look like zombies. When I say, okay, children, it's done, close your computer, it always takes a time to get them out of the computer, to get them in the now, in the here. I had a lot of teachers who said, it's time to slow down again. We're always going. And the children need to, do math, let's say math, an hour a day. And they have to make 10 exercises from the lesson, and then 10 exercises adaptive, or 20 exercises adaptive to feed the system. And if they find it hard and only did 10 exercises in an hour, they need to do more. And so they say it's always, more, and it's time to relax and to find the balance again, the balance between what is important. It's not only about the cognitive, the thinking part. It's also about the social, emotional, and the working together part. I also have a teacher who's positive, but he says, well, I only use it as a exercise tool. And then it's crazy because I can see, okay, I've started today with material or with another way, and then they do the exercise on the computer, and I can see, okay, was my lesson clear enough? And I think that's a really good way to use it.